Coming up, it's the quarterfinals with Buckingham Browne and Nichols School taking on Weston High School. That's next on High School Quiz Show. Hi, everybody, and welcome to High School Quiz Show, the quarterfinals. I'm Joe Hanson, your host. This competition is really heating up, folks. We are down to just 7 teams. We start today with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points. There are no point deductions for wrong answers, and players, you may confer. All right, teams, if you're ready, good luck. Here we go. Bram Stoker's Dracula is able to shapeshift at will. He turns into a wolf, a large dog, and what other animal? Yuyan.
A bat.
That's correct. Creators on TikTok often use the hashtag FYP, an abbreviation that stands for what? Asher.
For you, Paige.
That's right. Just 180 square miles in area, what small independent state is situated between France and Spain? Asher.
Andorra.
That's right. Our next question, take a look at your monitors. The first woman to hold a cabinet post, what Secretary of Labor, seen here, was the chief architect of FDR's New Deal? Asher?
Smith.
No. Weston, you have a chance. We're looking for Francis Perkins. In 1864, what younger brother of the Austrian emperor was crowned Emperor of Mexico? James.
Maximilian.
That is correct. When it was first introduced as a toy in 1963, the original Easy Bake Oven used what as a heating element? That was a light bulb. That must have taken forever. What French impressionist is well known for his Water Lilies series, painted at his garden at Giverny? James.
Monet.
Monet is correct. In 2024, the city of Boston announced it was renaming the North Washington Street Bridge in honor of what civil rights activist and Celtics legend who passed away in 2022? Gabriella.
Bill Russell.
That's right. China's golden age, when it became the wealthiest and most sophisticated civilization on Earth, began with what dynasty that ruled from 618 to 907 AD? The Shang, the Ming, or the Tang? James.
The Shang.
No. BB&N? Yuyan?
The Tang.
The Tang dynasty is correct. Isabel Perón was the world's first woman president. She served as the president of what South American country from 1974 to 1976? Yuyan?
Argentina.
That is correct. In caregivers of chronically ill children, what protective caps at the ends of chromosomes are shorter than expected, a possible sign of stress-related aging? Gabriella?
Telomeres.
That is right. Amid a rollback of reproductive rights in the U.S. and elsewhere, in 2024, what European country became the first in the world to explicitly enshrine abortion rights into its constitution? Gabriella?
France.
That is correct. We are off to a great start, but let's take a quick moment to thank the folks who make this show possible. Major funding for High School Quiz Show is provided by Safety Insurance.
Boston traffic is the worst. Safety Insurance offers auto insurance policies designed to help for when the worst happens. You can ask an independent agent about safety insurance. Safety Insurance. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Additional funding is provided by the Museum of Science, Massachusetts Teachers Association, Xfinity Mobile, UMass Amherst, and Subaru of New England. Welcome back. The score is tied. BB&N and Weston both with 50 points. Let's get back to the game. Contracted to write a book called Where the Wild Horses Are, who switched to the more ambiguous Where the Wild Things Are when he realized he couldn't draw horses very well? Claire.
Steinbeck.
No. BB&N? Andreas?
Maurice Sendak.
Maurice Sendak is correct. What river that begins in the Alps and flows eastward into the Adriatic Sea is the longest river within Italy? Ben?
Tiber.
No. BB&N? Andreas?
The Po.
The Po River is correct. The Spanish Inquisition lasted how long? 3 years, 3 decades, or 3 centuries? Yuyan?
B.
No. Weston, you have an opportunity. James?
3 years.
No, it was 3 centuries. Adam Rees won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2011 for his discovery of what theoretical type of energy, a repulsive force that makes up nearly 70% of the energy density of the universe. Asher?
Dark matter.
No. Weston, opportunity? Ben?
Dark energy.
Dark energy is correct. In professional boxing, bouts are limited to a maximum of how many rounds? Gabriella?
12.
12 is correct. Ethnic Albanians make up 93% of the population of what small landlocked country in the Balkans with a capital city of Pristina? Andreas?
Kosovo.
Kosovo is correct. In the 1530s, what charismatic Catholic priest formed the Society of Jesus, also known as the Jesuits, to counter the Reformation and win back many Protestants? That would be St. Ignatius of Loyola. Tomorrow, I'll think of some way to get him back. After all, tomorrow is another day. Who says this at the end of the epic novel Gone with the Wind? Gabriella?
Scarlett O'Hara.
That is correct. Which type of coal generally has the highest heating value because it contains more than 80% carbon? Lignite, stibnite, or anthracite? Gabriella?
Anthracite.
That's correct. Lee's second in command at Gettysburg. What high-ranking Confederate was branded a traitor by white Southerners because after the war, he switched sides and embraced Reconstruction? Gabriella?
Pickett.
No. BB&N, you have an opportunity here. Dean?
Jackson.
No. We're looking for General James Longstreet. The adventure novel, The Count of Monte Cristo, is credited to what French author? Dean?
Dumas.
That's correct. Alexander Dumas. In 1959, who became the first African American to play for the Boston Red Sox? Gabriella?
Jackie Robinson.
No. BB&N, you do have a chance here. We're looking for Pumpsy Green. Pumpsy Green. Which Navy SEAL team is best known for the 2011 raid that resulted in the death of Osama bin Laden? James?
SEAL Team 6.
That is correct. La Rambla is a lively and historic street in the center of what Spanish city? Dean?
Barcelona.
That's correct. Named after a beautiful Greek youth who spent much of his life in perpetual sleep, what celebrated poem by John Keats begins, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever"? Claire?
Narcissus.
No? BB&N? We're looking for Endymion. That is the end of the round, and the score is tied. BB&N 100, Weston High 100 points. Let's hear it for both teams. Last week, Somerville beat Andover to move on to the semifinals. In today's match, Buckingham Browne Nichols and Weston are both looking to advance. The head-to-head round is next, but first, we're going to take a minute to get to know our players. BB&N, we start with you. Andreas, your favorite way to relax is to read the news? That does not seem relaxing to me.
It's just like a way I get to know the world around me, I guess. So I just read it like on my computer. Basically, I'm subscribed to New York Times.
So are you learning a lot about good news sources and maybe not good news sources?
I'm learning a lot from like good news, bad news, like news in between, and like just some random news that's there.
Could you teach everyone else that too, please?
All right, I can do that.
Yuyan, I hear you row on BB&N's crew team.
That's correct.
Are those early practices?
You know, we're running morning practice right now, and those are a grind. I'm sure my mom could tell you about those, but it's a grind.
What are the distances that you guys do?
Usually in the spring, we race across a distance of about 1,500 meters, but you know, right now it's the winter, and we're putting in the long, hard meters, so we're going for about hour-long rows on the erg.
I can tell you're in good shape.
Thank you.
Do you know your resting heart rate?
No, sir.
Okay, it's probably around 12. Dean, I hear you play the violin.
I do.
And you play chess?
Yes, the dual combo.
Do you have a favorite opening in chess?
The 4 nuts, I would say.
Okay, how does that work? I don't remember that one.
You use the knight on the other side to just like protect it, and then you just keep on pushing.
Okay, I love it. Asher, you're a sailor?
Yeah.
Are you doing lakes and rivers? You've been
Yes, we sail in the basin of the Charles River.
Okay.
And sometimes we go out and sail on the ocean as well. So sometimes around Nantucket, sometimes in Boston Harbor. So a lot of fun things.
Do you have a favorite sail? They all have really fun names.
I like the jib. That's a fun one.
Yeah, that is a fun one. All right, also on the BB&N team, we have mascot Bucky, alternates Vartan and Seth, and coaches Chip Rollinson and Sam Cricfield. Let's move it on over to Weston. Claire, you compete in pentathlon on your track team.
Yes.
For people who aren't familiar, what are the events in pentathlon?
High jump, long jump, hurdles, 100 meters, hurdles, shot put, and 800 meter.
Wow, that's a lot of varied skills to have to learn. Do you specialize in any of those?
I would say my best event is shot put.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's a really impressive event. Gabriella, you're a cross-country runner and a skier?
Yeah, both cross-country running and cross-country skiing.
That way you can just keep going all year, right?
Exactly. It's a lot of fun to be outside, and I could join Claire in indoor track, but I realized what I really like is being outside, going long distances, and that's what skiing does for me.
What kind of distances are we talking with cross-country skiing?
Our races are typically from 5K to about 8K.
So you and Yuyan can have a resting heart rate competition. Those are intense sports. Ben, you've been a contestant on Quiz Show before, and I understand you've been recognized in public thanks to your stardom.
I mean, hardly public, but among my friends, definitely.
So they stopping you in the hallway in school?
Somehow in class, someone, I don't know why they were on YouTube, but they saw me on YouTube in class. It was quite an experience.
Well, hey, I know that feeling. I've been on YouTube before. Welcome to the club. James, you're a big fan of classical Greek art, I hear.
I particularly like Greek sculpture from like the classical and Hellenic periods.
Now, would you have a favorite sculpture?
There's this one really famous one of an angel. It's missing its head because all good Greek sculptures are.
I could never draw hands when I was trying to do art, so I understand. They just couldn't do the head, so they just left it off, right?
Yeah, no, totally fair.
Rounding out the Weston team is the Weston Wildcat, alternate Timothy, and coach Allison Langsdorff. Let's hear it for both teams. It's the head-to-head round. In this round, correct answers add 10 points to the team total, and wrong answers result in a 10-point deduction. All right, clock is set at 90 seconds. How about we get a quick handshake before we start? Good luck. Here we go. In 1979, who became Europe's first female prime minister?
Thatcher.
Yes. The 26th Amendment grants the right to vote at what age?
18.
Yes. American humorist Samuel Clemens is better known by what?
Mark Twain.
Yes. The Seder is a ceremonial dinner held.
Passover.
Yes. The Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence.
1776.
Yes. A small yellow bird who's not a great flyer, Snoopy's best friend, is named after what historic music festival? Woodstock. Abbreviated N. What is the standard international unit of force?
Newton.
Yes. Winner of an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, The Boy and the Heron is set in the 1940s in what Asian?
Japan.
Yes. Abraham Lincoln began his political career as a Whig, but by the 1860 election?
Republican.
Yes. What American author wrote the landmark poetry collection Leaves of Grass?
Whitman.
Yes. What pesticide wasn't banned in the U.S. until 1972, a full decade after Rachel Carson warned about it?
DDT.
Yes. In the X-Men film franchise, Ian McKellen plays what leader of the Brotherhood of Mutants?
Magneto.
Yes. What 2019 title is a sequel to the dystopian novel The Handmaid's Tale? The Testaments. Meaning 1 billionth, what 4-letter prefix refers to technology built on a molecular scale? Nano. The Hindu god Ganesh has the head of what animal? Didn't get in there. We were looking for an elephant. That is the end of the round. Let's take a look at those scores. BB&N has 190 points. Weston's trailing with 120 points. A lot of game to go. Let's give it up for both teams. All right, teams, it's time for the category round. Today's categories are Come On Down, mostly Mozart, Rest in Peace, That's a Stretch, Life in Motion, and The Finish Line. All categories have 5 questions with increasing point value. Teams will choose 2 5-question categories each and have the option to toss 1 question per category to the other team that the other team must answer. Players, you are able to confer. All right, BB&N, who's your spokesperson? Andreas? Weston, how about you? Claire. Okay, Weston, you've got a little ground to make up on the scoreboard. The first category goes to you.
Life in motion.
Life in motion.
Life in Motion. These are questions about dance. For 10 points. Since it premiered in 2005, what dance competition reality series has asked former President Bill Clinton to be a contestant nearly every year?
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars.
That is correct. For 15 points. Best known for completing dance challenges that get millions of likes. In 2020, when she was 16 years old, who became the first TikTok user to reach 100 million followers?
Charli D'Amelio.
That is correct. For 20 points. What Caribbean country is the birthplace of the conga, cha-cha, and rumba?
Do we want to risk Cuba? Pass.
Pass.
We're looking for Cuba.
Okay.
For 25 points in Life in Motion. In the 1935 film The Little Colonel, tap legend Bill Bojangles Robinson performs the iconic staircase dance with what child star?
Would it be Shirley Temple?
Sure, that's what I'd guess, yeah.
Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temple is correct. For 30 points, the wife and muse of choreographer George Balanchine, who was the first American and the first Native American to hold the title of prima ballerina?
Oh, Maria Dolceef. Really? Did she say Native American? I have no idea.
Maria Talchif.
That is correct.
Wow.
There we go.
BB&N, your first category.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. These are questions about historic landmark cemeteries. For 10 points. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is a historic monument located in what national cemetery in Virginia that was established during the Civil War?
Arlington National Cemetery.
That is correct. For 15 points. Voodoo priestess Marie Laveau is buried at St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, the oldest cemetery in what U.S. city, where most tombs are above ground because much of the city is below sea level?
New Orleans.
That is correct. For 20 points. What U.S. state is home to the Punch Bowl, a large crater that contains the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific?
Okay. Oregon.
No, it's Hawaii. For 25 points in Rest in Peace. The burial site of many notable figures, including poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and social reformer Dorothea Dix. What cemetery near Harvard Square was the nation's first garden cemetery?
Mount Auburn Cemetery.
That is correct. And for 30 points, often touted as the world's most visited cemetery, what Paris landmark is the final resting place of many celebrities, including Oscar Wilde, Edith Piaf, and Jim Morrison?
We're gonna pass.
We're looking for Père Lachaise. Weston, back to you.
Finish line.
The Finish Line. These are questions about Finland. For 10 points. Known as the Daughter of the Baltic, what Finnish city is the northernmost capital in continental Europe?
Helsinki.
Yes, Helsinki is correct. For 15 points. The flag of Finland features what color cross against a white background?
I think it's, we'll say blue.
Blue.
Blue is correct. For 20 points. For almost 700 years, from the 12th century until 1809, Finland was under the rule of what Scandinavian country?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Sweden is correct. For 25 points in the Finish Line, what Finnish goaltender retired in 2022 after spending his entire 15-season NHL career with the Boston Bruins?
Pause or pass? Pass.
Pass.
We're looking for Tuukka Rask. And for 30 points, written in 1899 in support of a rally against Russian oppression, Finlandia is a deeply patriotic piece by what Finnish composer?
Sibelius.
Sibelius.
That is correct. BB&N, final category to you.
Mostly Mozart.
Mostly Mozart. These are questions about classical music. For 10 points, over the course of nearly 200 years, the Bach family produced several notable composers, including J.S. Bach. What does J.S. stand for?
Johann Sebastian.
Correct. For 15 points, what Italian composer of the Baroque masterpiece The Four Seasons died penniless and nearly forgotten?
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi is correct. For 20 points, Bela Bartok and Franz Liszt are widely considered to be the greatest composers to emerge from what modern-day European country?
Czech Republic.
No, it's Hungary. For 25 points in mostly Mozart, the Habanera and the Toreador song are highlights from what Georges Bizet opera about a fiery gypsy woman in Seville, Spain?
Carmen.
That is correct. And for 30 points, one hears nothing. There is no theater, no opera, and even if they wanted one, who is there to sing? Mozart wrote this about his dislike of what Austrian city that was his hometown?
Salzburg.
Salzburg is correct. That's the end of the category round, and the score is BB&N 280 points. Weston just behind with 275. Let's hear it for both teams. We are heading into the final round of play, the lightning round. Correct answers add 20 points to the team total, and there is a 20-point deduction for incorrect answers. All right, the clock is set. Good luck, teams. Here we go. With no road access to the rest of the state, what Alaskan? Andreas.
Juneau.
Yes. What war killed more Americans than both world? James.
Civil War.
Yes. From 1821 until its independence in 1957, what country in West Africa was known as the Gold Coast? Andreas.
Ghana.
Yes. The narrator of all 6 seasons of Gossip Girl, what actress also voices Anna in the Disney film Frozen? Asher. Kristen Bell. In 1789, during the Women's March on Versailles, protesters demanded a fair price for what common food item? Gabriella?
Bread.
Yes. Name the type of cell division that results in cells with half the chromosome number. Ben?
Meiosis.
Yes. A key victory for the Allies in 1942. The Battle of El Alamein was fought in what African? Andreas?
Egypt.
Yes. Humiliated and heartbroken at being left at the altar, what character lives in a decaying mansion in Dickens? Gabriella?
Miss Havisham.
Yes. What was the first document to establish the principle that the king was not above the law? Andreas?
Magna Carta.
Yes. In math and physics, wavelength is usually denoted by which Greek letter? James?
Lambda.
Yes. What is the official currency of Switzerland? Andreas?
The franc.
Yes. In ancient Egypt, mummies were wrapped in what fabric made of? Andreas?
Linen.
Yes. In 2018, at age 15, what Swedish activist started a global? Yuyan?
Thunberg?
Yes. Which U.S. state is the... And the winning team this week is Buckingham Browne Nichols with a final score of 400 points. Weston finishes with 375 points. What a game. A huge congratulations to both teams for a fantastic game. BB&N now moves on to the semifinals to play Somerville. Join us next week for our third quarterfinal match between Acton-Boxborough and Hopkinton. You won't want to miss it. That's right here for our next high school quiz show.